Currently, I am a realtor in the state of California. A friend of mine was interested in purchasing a property. Before searching for a property, he wanted to pre-qualify for a loan and get an idea of his affordable price range. He visited a loan guy, where they got his information and ran his credit. Unbeknownst to him, the amount of pre-qualification was much lower than expected. Confused, we went over his credit report. According to his report, he had recently purchased a home. My client never purchased a home, nor knows anything about the property listed. Apparently, someone stole his information and bought a home under his name. My client was livid. He didn't know what to do. At first, he wanted to go to the property and throw the guy out personally. After advising him not to, he was thinking of what moves to make next. Reading further down the report, my client still had a good score and there were no late payments. It seems whoever is living on the property are not behind on any loan payments. The tenant was living in the house for approximately a year. Out of curiosity, I ran comps on the property. The house had over $100,000 in equity. What? How can this be? Then an idea dawned on my client. Since the house is technically his, he decided to kick that guy out, take possession of the home, and sell it for profit. Doing so would take a lengthy eviction process through the court system. On average, it takes around 3 to 6 months. It's a gamble. Sometimes people trash a house before being evicted. He decided to take the risk. The next day, we started the eviction process. While going through the process, the tenant ignored all eviction notices, court dates, nor did they move out. Eventually, the date of eviction was ordered by the court. On the day of eviction, my client showed up with members of the sheriff's department to help with the eviction. Not everyone wants to give up the place they reside. The tenant tried to ignore the sheriff officers. The officers forced entry into the residence and found the tenant hiding. He tried to argue to the sheriff deputy to no avail, yelling and screaming what they were doing is wrong. The tenant tried to say he owned the property but could not provide any proof. If he were to furnish any fake identity information, there would have been bigger problems since their real owner is standing right outside. The tenant was really pissed but forced to move out immediately. Nothing he could do. Revenge for stealing my client's identity. Shortly after, we listed the home and he made a sweet $100K. My client never reported the guy for stealing his identity since he made out better with the ordeal. The house was still in pretty good condition. I really don't think the tenant knew he would actually be forcefully removed from the premises or knew what was coming. My client did lock down his personal information to help prevent any future problems. Thankfully, this ordeal didn't impact his credit report. In my experience, when we find out someone's credit information was stolen, it's usually to the detriment of the client. First time, it came out on the positive side.